The soft golden light filtered through the linen curtains of our bedroom. The scent of fresh jasmine from the garden drifted in with the breeze. I lay in bed for a moment longer than usual, savoring the quiet. I turned, expecting to find David beside me. He wasn't there, not unusual, I thought. He sometimes left early for meetings, but still, he usually kissed me goodbye. I reached for my phone on the nightstand, and, checking the time, 6:47 a.m., a notification blinked at the top of the screen, David. I smiled, thinking maybe it was a sweet message. Have a great day, love. Something simple, but instead it read, I'm done. I've filed for divorce. Please don't contact me again. Just like that. No explanation, no conversation, no fight, nothing. I sat up in bed, staring at the words until they blurred. My fingers trembled as I tried to call him. Straight to voicemail. I texted back, "What are you talking about? Why? Is this a joke?" But there was no reply. I felt cold, like someone had opened a trapdoor beneath me and I was falling. My chest tightened, panic rising. I tried calling his office, but the receptionist said, "Mr. Warner is unavailable for the next few days. He's traveling. Where I jumped out of bed, still in my nightdress, and raced to the study. His laptop was gone, his briefcase. Half his closet. I hadn't even noticed. When did he pack? How long had he been planning this? I opened our joint banking app. And I froze. Balance $0. Zero gone, every dollar, the savings we built for 10 years, the vacation fund, the emergency fund, even the rainy day stash. I checked each account, each tab, nothing, not a cent. I fell to my knees, phone slipping from my hand, unable to breathe. We had been married for 10 years. 10. I met David when I was 20. 4. Working in a bookstore, still chasing dreams I didn't have the courage to say aloud. He was charismatic, ambitious, already climbing the corporate ladder. He said he loved my simplicity, my calm, the way I grounded him. When he proposed a year later, I thought I was the luckiest woman alive. I supported him through everything. When he started his company, I left my job to help him. I did the books, made the coffee, helped him design the logo. We lived lean those first few years, eating noodles, sharing a single car. I stood beside him when clients bailed, when a partner stole from him, when he lost hope. And then it happened. His breakthrough, money flowed in, we bought a house, upgraded our life, dinners at 5-star restaurants. Designer suits, vacations in Italy. I never asked for much. I was happy just to see him shine. I thought we were happy. But maybe I missed the signs, the late nights, the changed passwords, the subtle shift in how he touched me. Less affection, more routine. The way he stopped looking me in the eye. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Now I saw it clearly. I was being replaced. Erased. I didn't cry that first day. I was too numb. I called my sister Mira, and she rushed over. I told her everything, every detail of the text, the empty account, his disappearance. She stared at me in disbelief. He just left, yes. Did you fight recently? No, nothing. We were planning to visit Mom next week. He even reminded me to book the tickets. We sat in silence. Then she pulled me into a hug, and I finally broke. Tears poured out of me. Tears of betrayal, confusion, grief. I cried for the woman I had been, the life I thought I had, the future that had been silently stolen while I wasn't looking. In the days that followed, I tried to piece myself together. His lawyer sent the divorce papers by email. Cold, clinical, a standard agreement with no support, no property claim, as if I was a stranger he'd met last week, not the woman who carried him through his darkest years. I consulted a lawyer of my own, an old friend of my late father. He read the paperwork and said, "This is brutal. He's trying to cut you out of everything." He paused. "Has he ever made you sign anything you didn't understand?" I blinked. I don't know. Maybe during the business setup I signed a lot. I trusted him. He nodded slowly. We'll need to go through all of it. Every document, every transaction. So we did. Page by page, signature by signature. And I started seeing it. There was a quiet rage that built inside me. Not the loud, explosive kind. This was quieter, colder, sharper. It brewed as I sat alone in that big empty house, filled with memories that now felt poisoned. As I ate frozen dinners on chipped plates, wondering how I would pay the mortgage. As I stared at our wedding photo, him in a crisp tuxedo, me in lace and laughter, wondering if he ever really loved me. But the rage wasn't for revenge, not yet. First, it was survival. I sold what I could, the extra car, the jewelry I once adored. I took a job at a local cafe, swallowing my pride as I served people who once sat at our dinner parties. I moved into a small apartment, cheap, quiet, mine, and slowly, painfully, I began to rebuild. One night, 3 weeks after the text, Mira handed me a flash drive. "You're not going to like this," she said. She plugged it into my laptop and showed me photos, screenshots, messages. David with a woman, younger, pretty, curvy in all the ways he once teased me for not being. She was laughing in his lap, a champagne bottle in hand. He was kissing her shoulder, whispering something in her ear. And then another image, him in Dubai, at a private villa. My name was on the property registration. I stared at the screen, trying to breathe. "Why is my name?" Amira said quietly. "I think he used your identity, maybe for taxes or to hide assets." I felt dizzy. He didn't just leave me, he used me. Every trust, every paper I signed in love had been a tool in his silent exit plan. But he underestimated one thing. I was not the same woman he left, not anymore, and he had no idea what was coming. Silence has a sound. It's the hum of a refrigerator at 3 a.m. when sleep won't come. It's the sound of a text message that never arrives. It's your own breath echoing in a life suddenly emptied. That was my world for weeks. But grief has a strange half-life. It burns hot, then turns cold, sharp, purposeful, and eventually it started whispering, "He didn't just leave you. He used you." That changed everything. It started with the villa in Dubai. Mira's friend worked at a private real estate firm overseas. She'd casually asked him to look into a property we found registered under my name. What came back was worse than I imagined. 3 properties, not 1, 3, all in luxury towers under my full legal identity, passport, signature, tax info. "Your husband," the man said over a secure Zoom call, "used your credentials to open offshore accounts as well. It's a shell game. He's hiding money." I should have felt broken. But what I felt was fire. He wasn't just divorcing me. He was trying to bury me with debt, fraud, false trails. He had spent years preparing this. Charm and manipulation were his weapons, and I, like a fool in love, had handed him the keys. I went back to the beginning. My lawyer, Mr. Desai, suggested we aud it every paper I'd ever signed for David's company. It was tedious, painful, triggering, but I did it. Buried in a pile of tax files from 4 years ago, I found it, a document labeled spousal consent to invest. I remembered signing it at dinner. We were celebrating his new office lease. He passed me the paper between bites of pasta, saying, "Just a boring formality, babe, legal stuff." I signed without reading. I always trusted him, and that was my downfall. The deeper we dug, the worse it got. David had siphoned off nearly 80% of his company's liquid assets 6 months before he texted me. He then transferred ownership of several properties to dummy corporations, with my name as director. He planned everything, the Dubai trip where he forgot his passport and asked me to handle some documents. A setup, the random accountant who once asked me to sign something during a party, a setup. Even our anniversary trip last year, when he took me to a notary as a surprise, to make me a business partner officially, that was just legal sleight of hand, turning me into a fall guy. But the final blow came from his phone records. A friend of mine, Anish, worked in cybersecurity. He owed me a favor. I asked, "Can you check if David's number is linked to any unknown devices or suspicious messages?" It took him 2 days. What he found felt like betrayal layered on betrayal. David had been messaging another woman for over a year. Her name was Alyssa. His assistant, younger, blonde, recent MBA graduate. The same woman I'd met once at his office party, the one who'd complimented my dress and laughed too loudly at his jokes.